It just takes way too long. Okay, so we're live again. So we were just talking about the political system, how both in the US we've got two main parties and there's, a third that's ineffective. Both parties are corrupted. And then we took a short break and we were talking about how there's way, way, way more agencies and agents in the US alone than we're aware of. And John was saying how he ran into one a few years ago. So it was super interesting. And he was saying there were 55,000 more agents in the CIA than is disclosed or whatever.
Yeah, I actually was doing research, like I was saying, like 20, 25 years ago. It had been a while.
Yeah.
And how they work, the secret societies, their intel is really, really good. But yeah, in my research, there was 55,000 Secret Service agents.
Yeah.
That was, they're not on the payroll, but they're there. And
Right.
that was 25 years ago.
Right.
But it's really huge what we're up against. Not these federal agents need to wake up and realize, hey, I know you're working for our government, but who are you really working for? That's the thing, because more than likely that person you're working for has been replaced by somebody else pretending to be that person.
Right.
I can't stress it. I can't stress it enough.
And a lot of
So
these
true.
agents are intel providers, like on YouTube or whatever channel on the news. They're out there putting out the disinformation or even controlled opposition on purpose to confuse the people, to mislead the people, and to give them false narratives. So, again, we're told a story, we're told it over and over. We think we know the person. Like, let's say it's a movie star. Okay, they're in positive movies. They always have a happy, uplifting role. We always think they're like that in real life. It's a psychological thing. Oh, we think that person is so good. Not true. Some of those people are evil. It's actually
Oh
pretty
yeah, and
shocking.
what Hollywood can do anymore.
Yeah.
I was in Hollywood. My Hollywood name was Richard Steele. They were building me up in many things. I was on many shows, many programs. That identity was stolen. It was simply, and I'm going to explain how it works, people. So pay attention. My name, Richard Steele. The name, Hollywood gives you a name. They say it's for protection, but what they did in my circumstances, they had a kid named Richard Steele. He was, I don't know, 8 years older than I was at the time, or whatever. But they gave me the name Richard Steele. Jackie paid Hollywood and people in Hollywood to make me a Hollywood actor, a Hollywood star. So I did all these shows, Adam 12 and Green Acres and Mayberry RFD, My Three Sons. I was in a movie, Egg Roll with Doris. So many. They simply took me out of the, gave all my credits to another guy named Richard Steele. It has worked with my military career. In government, you climb a ladder to achieve your ranks, and it goes all the way to the top of the ladder to general. Um, I had done many things to help our country. Nelson Mandela was one of them. I met with Nelson Mandela. I talked with the man. I got to know about the man himself. We were sitting on a park bench. Me and Nelson Mandela were sitting on a park bench. Two armed guards come walking by while we're sitting on that. That man started trembling. That man had been thrown into prison, and I knew exactly how he felt. I could relate with what he was. I could relate with Nelson Mandela. I was sitting there. These men armed walking by. Nelson Mandela started shaking like this at the sight of these armed guards with weapons. He was shaking. He was trembling. He was ready to get his ass kicked. He was ready to be tortured. It was all in his head. And they passed. And I said, Nelson, guess what? You're president now. I said, you imagine those guns they were carrying? You know what happens to a weapon when the barrel gets shoved in the mud and they go to try to fire that weapon. I told him that weapon's going to blow up right in their face. I said, "You're president now. You have no worries." And he laughed like hell. But
What,
the credit I got for talking with Nelson and being there, somebody else took that credit that I was even there talking with Nelson Mandela. Um, they still, these people are murderers in government. They are thieves. If somebody does a good deed in our military to achieve the rank in military, there's somebody there to steal the credits from them. It's identity theft at the highest level. And that has always pissed me off. Um, just the fact. I think I even got banned for telling that Nelson Mandela story one time. Identity theft is huge. They steal everything.
where were you and like about when was this that you were talking to Nelson Mandela?
I don't even remember. I would have to, it's been so long ago. Um, I would even have to look it up myself, what year and all that.
Right.
It was a long time ago. Um, it was when he was in transition of becoming president.
Okay.
Um, so I would have to look at the freaking dates. Um, yeah, I would have to look it up,
Okay.
but
Just wanted to ask, yeah.
it's I wanted to throw that out there. Um, my military experience that I had in the military. I know I get a lot of comments. Um, this man's never been in the military. Um, I actually was in the military in all branches, just enough to learn, just to get a taste of it. Boot camp was hell because I had to do boot camp after boot camp after boot camp. Um, but I was on the front line, and my weapon wasn't uh, an AR. It wasn't. It was a Russian weapon because we weren't supposed to be where I was. It was an AK-47, and I was a child. But the crates of AK-47s would come in for the squad I was in, and my job was to get the grease out of the barrel. And these AK-47s had writing on them. They were soldiers' weapons, and it was all in Russian. But if that weapon was found, um, the United States wasn't there.
Right.
But there was many things I have done that aren't recognized because they don't want the American people to know what was going on.
Right.
And it's so huge. I could tell stories after stories, and to be disrespected like that. I'm not claiming to be a war hero or anything else, but I've done my part for this country. Um, I've tried to help the best I can, but yeah, on a mission, you know, I had to throw my ring in a box, the ring I wear, throw it in a box just in case I was shot and killed or captured. Um, I wasn't there. There was be no Robin scene. I was sitting with my shirt off. On my side, there's a little dipper. My father was called the Big Dipper. I was called the Little Dipper. So there was a federal agent that actually tattooed a little dipper on my side right here. And I was sitting with the shirt off, and Robin had her camera, and she's like, "I never saw that before. That's a little dipper." And I said, "Yeah, that's actually a tattoo. They used brown tattoo ink and put a little dipper on my side." And when they did that, I was told because if I was ever killed and they took off my head and my arms or my hands or anything to identify me, um, my torso would have a little dipper on it. And that's how the Secret Service, would identify me. Because I went on some crazy missions. I'm thinking they didn't want me to come back alive. They threw me out. There's so much shit. They wanted me to come back dead. Just like 1999 plane crash. It's
Yeah. In your book,
you
you've
know
talked.
some if I was yourself, I'd have plenty of doubts. I really would. I'd say, but if you people do your research, Look at the childhood photos. All the childhood photos are of me. DNA is coming. But here's the thing: when I get asked questions about DNA all the fucking time. There's been people
Yep.
donating my taking fuss. Here's the thing: what I'm exposing is a corrupt government that has the power to pre-plan someone's murder and take their life. They have the power to use plastic surgery, dental work, and get someone that looks like that person and replace them to steal their power, their money, and all their possessions. These people have that fucking power to do that. They put it right out in front of the whole world. What kind of power do you think they have over a laboratory doing a DNA test, people? After what I exposed, what they could do, for
That's
real.
right. That's right.
And speaking of throwing my rings in a box, I went to a flea market the other day and there was a guy selling little stickers and a few rings. And I got that one right there, 81. Um, support 81. I support 81. The 81 protected me when I was a child. My family had been murdered. The 81, my brothers became my new family. They were protecting me, they were keeping me safe. A few lost their lives, and I just got a little fly in my coffee. I watched him just jump right in. But anyway, yeah. Much love and much respect to the 81. That's what I got to say right there.
Yeah. We had talked last week and you had said something, you implied that the military, the US military, again, we think it's all organized and by the book and you climb ranks by doing a good job and being in there and blah, blah, blah. But you implied that that isn't the case, that it's very cutthroat, that people are murdered for their position and their power, which I have to say shocked me. I mean, I hadn't thought about that before, but again, if the military is that corrupt at the top levels and or they're being controlled, that gives me very low confidence in what they're doing.
Yeah, no, it can be a cutthroat. I learned at a very young age.
Yeah.
I have the coffee pot. I have to go to my son's and get that coffee pot. But there, I was at a very young age. We got aboard a destroyer. Um, because the commander of that destroyer was killed. Somebody else wanted to tank his rank. So I learned this from a very young age. That commander of that ship was killed. And Wayne was there. I was there. Wayne brought me around, but he was poisoned through coffee, through his morning coffee. They killed him to achieve the power to climb up the ladder. But I was taught that at a very young age how that cutthroat shit works. It's so real. Um,
Yeah.
Not a whole lot I could say about that.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah. I think
Um,
it's something
people
I
will do
have.
what they
Yeah.
people will do what they can to achieve that power. You got to remember the military, the generals, and everybody under them. They're not elected. They don't have a 4-year term. Our president, our commander in chief, is only there for a short time for 4 years. These people are always there, and they are in charge of big fucking money, big shipments of military supplies. Um, and if there's anything to do with warehousing surplus, I mean, you all have heard of the hammer that sold for $30,000 to the military. Everybody's heard that story. They do that um, to line their own pockets.
Yeah.
It's how it works. I was almost killed. Um, I worked on a dock. There was a Navy base down the street. I would go pick up a load from that Navy base. They would put a seal on it. I would drive that load from the Navy base to a dock. I would break the seal, open the doors, back up to the dock. That one load would pay $5,000. The military, the government was paying $5,000 to have that load I just picked up sent to Fort Hood, Bragg, wherever. But it was only one pallet in the nose of a 40-foot trailer, and the government was paying them $5,000. So I opened the doors, I backed into the dock. There's more trailers in there. I say, well, this load's got 2 pallets on it. It's going to Fort Bragg. This one, the driver's going to Hood after Fort Bragg. So I would get all these other $5,000 loads, put them on this other trailer. So next thing you know, I just made a $30,000 load that the government is paying for the same trip. So the government is paying $5,000 for this one load to be shipped to a military base.
Yeah.
I just made that one load $30,000 for the truck driver and the company to take it to the same exact place.
Right.
And they almost killed me over it. I knew too much after I worked there for a while. They actually tried to have me killed. I'll get into that in another story.
All right.
But that's how they can make money on everything. So organized crime just took $5,000 from the government. Then they just took $30,000, and this was going on every single day. You imagine making $30,000 every fucking day off our government for something that originally was only supposed to pay $5,000? That's how it's done. I'm a personal eyewitness to that.
Wow.
And while I worked there was a fucking I believe it was $36 million missile sitting in a residential area in Pennsylvania, right in front of the whole fucking world. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit doing here? But it sat there, and I stayed up, I don't know, 3 days, keeping an eye on that, making sure nobody came and stole that freaking missile. But I believe they were trying to sell that $36 million missile to someone. But it sat right in front, right in a residential area in Pennsylvania. I got many stories, many stories.
Was that missile outside?
Yeah, it was right on the back of a trailer. It was in a crate. It was in a big military, green crate. And I was like, why is this sitting here? And nobody's claiming it. Nobody, they just dropped this here. So I went and I found the paperwork, and right on the paperwork, after I, looked in it, it said missile, blah, 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 ballistic missile, cruise missile, or whatever it said, value $36 million or whatever it was. Wow. And I was like, this is just fucking sitting here. Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah. Unfucking believable.
Well, and one thing I wanted to clarify is that not all military people are corrupt. Okay, so we already know that. Okay, but there is a lot of corruption in every area of life. And I guess my shock was that we think the military are like so structured and all of that, just like our government, and that is incorrect.
And like this bubble I say we're put in. I've been sharing my story for years, and I don't get anybody from the military joining in my chats, or the ones I do are, you've never been in the fucking military, blah blah blah, or this. But I don't get actually people in the military chatting or saying, hey, I'm in this unit or that, or I don't get it. Just like lawyers or any other thing, we are being suppressed in this fucking bubble, and I believe the fucking government supercomputer has a lot of that shit to suppress us on. I mean, they know. You go to, I go to the dollar store to buy a pack of cigarettes. They got to scan my fucking driver's license anymore. And then if you want to get the deal at the grocery store, you got to get one of those grocery cards. It is all huge, but they know we shit out in the fucking.
Yeah. It's all
just they're getting so much intel on each and every one of us. Why? Why is all that intel being done? Like I said, the future is very concerning to me.
Yeah.
It really
is.
We
already know that they're tracking us and recording every purchase we make, everywhere we go. They can record everything we see in our homes. And it's scary. We should be scared.
And that's for each and every American.
Yeah.
Um, just think about me. I'm John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. My father was a president. My whole family was murdered. I'm exposing that. Um, I'm sure they got fucking bugs up my ass. Um, yeah. Um, they're watching very, very closely. I guarantee it.
Yeah. And that's why your channel is being monitored, suppressed. And whenever we start to talk about something super important, we lose the line or it gets corrupted or whatever. It happens all the time, you know? Yeah.
Um, and these people that are doing it need to really wake up.
Yeah.
They really need to wake up. They need to see the big picture. These people hindering and blocking and doing the shadow banning. Uh, they got to live here too when the shit comes down.
Yeah. When you take a step back and you look at society, you can see the corruption in every industry and how things don't even make sense. But again, we're kept busy. We've got our cell phones, our entertainment, our this or that, our jobs, and we're rushing around like ants, right? So we don't have that time to take the broader view. We're only doing the little compartmentalized job that we're taught to do, not thinking about the bigger picture. How does it affect the earth, the people, society, whatever it might be? And so, again, we need to take that broader perspective and look at, all right, we think we're having fair elections. That's not true. We think we have healthy food. Not true. Medical care, not true. Like every industry is corrupted. All right. So it's getting more and more in our face, like you said. They're doing it in broad
Yeah,
daylight in our face.
there's society. Um, most most people in America, they're on a schedule. They live by that schedule day after
Yeah.
day. They get up 5:30 in the morning, they shit, shower, shave, they have their piece of freaking toast. By a quarter after 6, they're out the freaking door. Then they're stuck in traffic for a half hour. Then they get to work. They do their job all fucking day. By the end of the day, they go to by the grocery store. It's all fucking routine day after day. If they miss that routine, they're fucked. They can't pay their rent. They can't,
Yeah.
survive. So they're stuck in this routine over and over and over again. And then when they get home, they just want to have dinner and go to bed. They don't have time. They don't care about the news, the social media, and when they do watch the news, it's all what they're supposed to be told
Right.
anyway. But it's a routine, and our government loves that routine. It's
Yeah.
almost like, it's all controlled just so these people do that so they can get their money,
Right.
and they don't want them out of that routine. So many people in that routine, I'm glad I'm in that routine.
It's that little hamster wheel, where you keep running, you never get anywhere, and then life goes by and you miss it all. So it's really having your eyes and ears open and noticing that things aren't what we're being told or whatever. And we
That
do,
hamster wheel is so
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And
I
we,
was told,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was told my whole entire life. I always wanted my idea, by what I saw when I was young. I just wanted that house, white picket fence, wife. I wanted a pig, a dog, a chicken, a cow. I wanted the simple life. I wanted to get up in the morning and feed the cow. On the weekends, I wanted to ride the horse. I just wanted the
Right.
simple life. I was lied to so much over and over and over again by these federal government agents. I was living in poverty, struggling, becoming a truck driver and everything else, not settled down, not even having a home for 30 years. Still don't, living in a trailer. My point is, I just wanted the simple life. I was promised so much, well, next year you're going to get that ranch. The one that was stolen from you here. The Kennedys had a lot of fucking money. The Onassis had a lot of money, but I was promised, well, you're going to get that ranch, and we're talking nice ranches. And but I was always promised these things, and it was promised, just like the
Right.
Q plan, go with the plan. I
Yeah.
was year
Yeah.
after year after year, and I'm sitting here right now going, I'm 63 fucking years old. I went with the plan. I went with that fucking plan. 50 years went by that I was going with the plan. How much longer can I live? I'm an adult male. What's the life expectancy of me? Not much longer. I'm not gonna live for freaking ever. The life expectancy of me. So I went with the fucking plan. My life is gone. Um, I just want to enjoy the few years, maybe days I have left. But my point is, don't go with the fucking plan. Live your life. Quit waiting and expecting false
Yeah.
promises from these people.
Right.
But yeah, I was promised. I was lied to. I went with their plan over and over and over again. And their plan was to shut me up while they stole billions of dollars from my loved ones. That's their plan.
Right.
It sucks. Their plan sucks.
Yep. Yep. Their plan sucks. I agree. Yeah, so I think the people watching this now are awake already. Like they're already aware of what's going out there. So maybe we're preaching to the choir, but again, we're going to have new viewers, new people that are like, "What? The government's not honest with us? Oh, they don't have our best interests at heart." Oh, this story could be real.
And for the viewers, like I've been saying, we've been placed in a bubble where the
Yeah.
truth only gets to so many people within the bubble. If you can figure out a way we can bust their bubble and get this story out, please
Yeah.
share it. I am open to so many ideas, but my story should be world. My story, everybody I feel in this world needs to know my story. They need to know what I've experienced and learn that I'm sharing, and they're not. So if you can find a way, somebody said bumper stickers and t-shirts and this kind of stuff in a comment I was this morning. Well, that's all great, but I don't have the money, or I would have already done it. Go buy bumper stickers and t-shirts. I think I've given away 6 or 7 books this week alone. These books cost me $20. I don't get a discount. I don't. They cost me $20 that I don't have. I'm on a limited budget. So when I give one of my books away, I'm praying that that person shares that fucking book with somebody because it's costing me. I don't have it. I don't. But if you can figure out a way, just like my reviews on Amazon, they're free. The people leaving the reviews weren't paid to leave the reviews, but Amazon, the reviews are a great source of free advertisement. Please read. I had a video taken down in a strike the other day because I took screenshots of all the reviews. I made a little short video and I got a warning strike. My video taken down for sharing the reviews. They don't want the story out. So
Right.
please
Right.
read the reviews, check them out. But if you can find a way that we can burst this bubble of the regime that we live in now that's controlling us, please share. Please let me know. Yeah, the idea of things and merchandise to purchase to get them out is a wonderful idea, but I would need some good sponsors, and we're not getting out of the bubble to the American people that might want to help our quid. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, and we've shared your Cash App link in the description below. So if anyone's called to assist John in any way financially, he would greatly appreciate that. And again, if we can promote the book. So I was driving around the other day and I saw a bookstore I hadn't noticed before. I'm going to go into the bookstore and say, "Hey, can you guys carry this book?" I haven't done that yet. I've only worked with libraries because I use the library a lot myself. But anywhere that offers books, even used bookstores or whatever, a lot of times they have things that they'll feature, and just getting the story out there.
And
One,
I want to thank you for sharing the Cash App.
yeah,
Um, I don't like asking for money, but all the candidates, all the presidents, they all do it. I never liked sitting in church watching that collection plate getting tossed around. I'm not for that, but when you our last interview, you put the Cash App there. A guy named Tony sent me $100, And I just wanted to thank you, Tony. If you are listening, it was a blessing having that $100. It was absolutely awesome. You're so much appreciated. $100 goes a long way. I know how to stretch out a dollar,
Right.
and I'm a couple $100 short on some more advertising for my trailer. I really payday's coming real close, so that's coming up next. But I want to put a couple more stickers of my book on my trailer, and I want to go down, drive Las Vegas Strip, honking my fucking horn, and see the response I can
Yep.
get. And I'll be sharing, word of mouth on the street, and I'll ask people to sign my trailer. I made a big sticker. I paid this guy to make me some stickers. It says, "We the people," and under "We the people," it says, "Declare the United States government a criminal organization." I want to get people to sign it. If you see me, please sign my trailer. Ask me, say, "Hey, I'm in Arizona. Come sign my trailer." I'll meet you somewhere to sign my trailer. I'll be happy to. We need to get out old school, however we can do it. I
Right.
figured that was a good way. But in the 70s, Bill and Hillary Clinton declared biker organizations criminal organizations. They put it into law. So the Hells Angels and the Outlaws and other, all these other organizations where there's good and bad, but we're talking these organizations, toys for tots, good things also. Our government declared them criminals. Americans, just because they're riding a bike and being in a club, declared them criminals. Well, that really pissed me off back then, that the people that were saving my life, protecting my life, me being the son of an assassinated president, declaring my brothers criminals, pissed me off. So I'm sharing my story now, and I'm declaring the United States government, and I'm making it public, are the real criminals. And hopefully I can get 1 million signatures on that trailer. I'm hoping, I'm praying, because justice is for all. It really is.
I think you're
And
gonna
that
have
fly
your
didn't do too much damage to my
yeah, yeah.
coffee.
I think you're gonna have your justice, and I think the people watching this want you to have justice, so we're gonna share it around and help in any way we can. And when you get the date ready for your trip, you'll let us know, and we'll help promote it as well.
I thank you. I was thinking that last night, I had that vision from God in my head to make this trip happen. I was doing my live, and I was like being so hindered on my live, so blocked, so shadow banned. I'm like, we have put out so much money, and it's going to cost so much money just in gas alone. And I want to thank King Smarty. He offered to pay for the gas, which is way cool. Um, but I don't want to do it until I know I'm not going to be in Arlington, Virginia with 5 people standing there taking pictures. This has to be a world event. That's why I'm planning it, because it needs to be a world event to get it out, where the media doesn't want it out. So my idea in all this is to have so many followers, so many people there, making it a world event.
Right.
And so yeah, now after last night, I'm still stuck on the date. I don't want
Yeah,
to put it off too long, but I want to make sure there's people there, and a lot of them
yeah,
at
yeah.
that. So I just got to keep sharing until I know we got the backing. But when I'm doing live and there's 30 people, yeah, 30 people there would be great, but
It's
we need a
ridiculous.
we need a
No,
lot
no,
more.
I mean, you need a crowd there, and we'll help share it for you. And this is a huge story, and it's shocking that so few are hearing it. I'm not sure if we're still live. Like I see on my phone that the live went dead. I'm not
Oh
sure if
wow.
it's recording or not, but it shows that we are. We hope we are. But anyways, the second you mentions King Smarty, boom, they cut us off. He has a great interest in meeting you, and he wants you to come to Destin. I'm just saying it again. So I'm
Yeah.
sure that he'll help support you in any way he can, and the group that he works with will also help support you. So
Yeah, but
yeah,
we need support from the people. That's
yes,
King Smarty, he's awesome, and he
yeah,
showed me love and support. But we need the support of the people. We need to get the story out. We really
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah. Well, it feels
But
like
I hope we're still recording. So
yeah, me too. But I want to thank you for your time and your enthusiasm and your energy. Like every time we see you, you look better, more invigorated. It's only going to get better. Things are only going to get better, and it's so exciting that I'm so grateful that you came out with this story, because we've learned so much about what happens behind the scenes that we might not have known otherwise. No.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you for all your
Yeah.
help. If you can send me this video after we're done, like you
Yeah.
have, I will share it on my YouTube.
Okay.
I believe we're getting a few thousand views on the ones that we've done already.
Yep. Yep.
It's awesome. At least we're reaching somebody. You're much appreciated, Sue. You
Well,
really are.
thank you. So are you. And again, I'm sorry that you had to go through what you did. And I mean, it made you very smart and very strong. And I'm sorry that when we have to ask questions, because it's gotta be uncomfortable to hear that over and over and over. But I think that, it has to come out. So we have to ask those questions. And, you have such interesting stories, so many people. And it's fascinating to find out what's happened behind the scenes right under our noses, and we didn't even know it.
Yeah, it's huge. It
Yeah,
really is.
huge. So thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Have a wonderful day, Sue.
Bye. You too.